Hey everyone, today we're jumping right into a huge topic for anyone in the maritime world, the International Ship and Port Facility Security Code. You probably know it as the ISPS code.
So if you're getting ready for your orals, stick around. We're going to hit the absolute must-know essentials of the ISPS code, so you can walk into that exam feeling totally confident.
So what is this thing, really? Well, at its heart, the ISPS code is basically the global rulebook for maritime security. It's a whole set of measures designed to keep ships and ports safe. And it's all part of the big one, the SOLAS Convention. That's the International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea. Now, to really get why this code even exists, you gotta look back at the timeline. Everything changed after the 9/11 terror attacks in 2001. All of a sudden, the whole world woke up to this awful new possibility, that a ship could be used as a weapon. This, on top of existing threats like piracy, meant something had to be done, and fast. The ISPS code was that urgent response.
Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty, starting with how the code is actually put together. This is a classic exam question, so you'll definitely want to remember this part.
So, the code is split into two parts, A and B. The easiest way to think about it is this. Part A is the law. It's the stuff you absolutely have to do, no exceptions. Then you've got Part B, which is more like the how-to manual. It gives you advice and best practices for actually following the rules in Part A.
Let me give you a quick example. Part A says you must have a plan to control who gets on and off the ship. It's mandatory. So how do you do that? Well, Part B gives you suggestions like you could use ID checks, you could post guards, maybe install some CCTV. See? Law and then the guide. All right, next up, the people. Let's talk about the key security roles, because it's crucial to know who's responsible for what.
And seriously, pay attention here. I can pretty much guarantee your examiner is going to ask you about these three roles, so let's make sure you've got them down cold.
It's all about the chain of responsibility. At the very top, you have the company's security officer, the CSO. They're looking after the security plan for the whole company fleet. Then, on each individual ship, you've got a ship security officer, the SSO. Their job is to make the plan happen on board. And finally, back on shore, there's the Port Facility Security Officer, or PFSO, who's in charge of security for the whole terminal.
Here's a super simple way to lock it in for your exam. Just look at the names: company, ship, port facility. It tells you exactly where they operate. Easy as that.
Okay, let's talk about the three security levels. You might hear them called MARSEC levels, which is short for Maritime Security. These are so important because they tell everyone exactly what security measures need to be in place depending on the threat level.
The system's actually pretty simple. It just escalates. Level 1 is your normal day-to-day security, business as usual. Level 2 gets triggered when there's a heightened risk of some kind of incident. And then you have Level 3. That's for when an incident is seen as probable or about to happen.
So, what does that actually look like in practice? Well, at Level 1, you're doing your routine ID checks. At Level 2, things get tighter, maybe more patrols, stricter ID checks. By the time you hit Level 3, you're looking at things like totally restricting access to some areas and screening every single person and bag that comes through.
All right, you ready? To wrap things up, let's do a little quick-fire round. We're going to go through some questions you are almost certain to hear in your oral exam.
First one, the big one. What is the ISPS code, and why do we have it?
Okay, for this, you want to be direct and confident. Your answer is, it's a mandatory security framework under the SOLAS Convention. It was created to protect international shipping from threats like terrorism and piracy that became a major concern after 9/11. Boom, done. Next up, they're going to check if you remember the basic structure.
This one's a layup. A simple, perfect answer gets you full points. Part A is the law, Part B is the guide. That's it.
Okay, now they're likely to ask about a specific role. The SSO is a popular one. So what do?
You don't need a huge list here. Just hit the main points. You'll want to say they implement the ship security plan, they run regular drills, they control access to the ship, and they report any incidents up the chain to the master and the CSO.
And finally, expect a practical question like this one. They want to see that you can apply what you know to a real-world situation. Your answer here just needs to show you get how the levels escalate. Just give a clear, simple example for each one, exactly like you see here. Level 1, routine checks. Level 2, more patrols. Level 3, stopping all visitors. Simple as that.
And that's our quick-fire round. You see, you've just covered the absolute core of the ISPS code. Just remember those key points. The 2 parts, the 3 roles, the 3 levels. And you are going to be in fantastic shape for your exam. You can do this.
And hey, one last thing to think about as you study. The rules are set for now, but technology is always changing the game. How do you think things like AI, drones, or biometrics are going to change how all this is done in the future? It's something to chew on. For now, good luck with your studies. You've got this.